Hey everybody, it's Justin the Diabetic here. This week I'm going to do the video for a viewer. Henry Graff, I hope I pronounced that right, asked me in a comment on last week's video, could I talk more about my diet? So I'm going to kind of do a broad overview of everything. Hopefully I make sense for you guys and I can kind of explain some stuff. So stay tuned and let's get started with this week's video. Okay, so to understand why I did what I did as far as my diet and the weight loss that I've had thus far and stuff like that, I gotta take you guys back to the beginning of last year, which was 2021. So January of 2021, I weighed about 320 pounds. Let that kind of sink in. I had been trying to lose the weight. I managed to lose a little weight here and a little weight there, and I think I finally got it down to when I actually started my diet at the end of May to about 303 or somewhere around there. So sorry, I just got up and my eyes aren't focusing well. So to kind of dive into how my diabetes was at that point, I was in auto mode 70 or 95 to 94% of the time, with only going into manual mode to change my sensor. Diamond saying hey to you guys. Let me pan over. She's currently looking out the window. Probably a person out there. But anyway, so I was in auto mode most of the time, which throughout my time with my Medtronic pumps, the 630G and the 670G and the 770G, I tried to stay in auto mode because I purchased the insulin pumps for that particular reason. So I'm trying to use auto mode. My GMI coefficient, which is kind of my estimated A1C, at this time was 6.9, which is close. My A1C was 6.9 during this time. So I did have rather good control. I was within range between 75 and 80% of the time, with all the time after that being high. So that's everybody's kind of complaint with auto mode. It was mine too. My average blood sugar was about 170. But here's the kicker. My total daily dose of insulin a day was 192 units averaged for February of 2021. And I was entering in anywhere from 286 to 300 to 400 carbs a day doing that. So at that point, your body is storing all those carbs into fat. Your insulin is, that's just what it's doing. So I gradually over the past 6 years have went from around 220 to 320. So it's been a gradual weight gain, and it's nobody's fault but mine, I guess. And also I didn't notice that auto mode was giving me as much insulin as it started going towards in the recent years. So what did I do? In my mind, the way I can lose weight is to reduce my carb intake to as close as I can to zero. So I've been trying a keto diet, trying to keep my carbs low. I'm still kind of, eating and stuff like that, mixed with a little bit of intermittent fasting, because when your body starts to use its fat for energy, you don't feel as hungry. So that's a perfect opportunity to take advantage of the intermittent fasting. It's a lot easier if you drink a ton of water. I personally, here recently, have given up anything but water and tea, unsweet tea. And so that's what I've been drinking primarily for a week. And when I say I drink a water, you want to drink the water more. And, it might get to the point to where you're going to the bathroom and it's not anything but the water just coming back out, but it helps your body, clean itself out and your kidneys and everything stays amazing. So that's a plus of constantly drinking water. So like I said earlier in the video, I started pushing really hard on this at the end of May of 2021, and I went through, I believe, August, June, July, and August, and I lost about 40 pounds. I went from around 300 to right at 260. Then I stopped the diet for the rest of the end of the year, and I've started it back the beginning of this year. I did gain a little weight back. I've lost that back off now, but I'm to the point where my body needs exercise. I'm not really losing the weight. You can tell I do have some pictures of before, so I will insert, let me hit this to where it stops moving. I will insert a picture here of me before I started the diet. Let you guys kind of look at that. It's a mess. And then here's another picture that I took literally minutes ago before recording this video. As you can see, my hair is still a little wet for you guys. So I've noticed a difference. My cardio level, I can do things that I didn't used to could do relatively easy. I've started doing crunches. When I get bored and I want to go run around the neighborhood, I just up and started running one day and did 3/4 of a mile. When used to, I couldn't do 30 feet. So, there's improvements there. So gradually now I'm going to try to maintain my diet to a level that I'm comfortable and increase some exercise activity. So when I say my diet, when you look at the keto diet, obviously, if you look at it from a nutrition standpoint, you can have a good keto diet and you can have a bad keto diet. So a bad keto diet is going to be that you're constantly eating high-fat foods that can mess up your cholesterol, like bacon and all that bad, juicy, greasy stuff. So you want to stay away from that. Hey, Diamond. Say hey. Say hey. Yeah. Okay. I got a video. Hop back down. Hop back down. Hop back down. So that's that. The way I try to stay is I try to stay on a healthy version of keto. So I'm eating salads. So I primarily eat salads, greens. You got to be careful. Some of your vegetables and fruits and stuff have high carbs, but I try to stay very low carb with that. I'll kind of splurge a little if it's my only meal for the day because I'm going to fast for the rest of the day. You can kind of do that. So I try to stay below 20, 25 grams of carbs a day. Ultimately, you want to stay below, I would say 30, 35. You'll know your body will go through some changes when you start the keto process that'll let you kind of remind you that you're still there. But what has, I think the main point, what has all of this done for me in the past year? So let's dive into my insulin demands now. So now, if you've been following the channel, I have been in manual mode for the majority of the time now. So the month of February of this year, I was in manual mode 75% of the time because I got, tired of auto mode at the beginning. My average blood sugar is down to 141 plus or minus 43. My GMI, or the average A1C, should be for this month around 6.7. I'm expecting it to go actually a little lower. I will see my endo at the beginning of April, so I'm curious to see what that is. My total daily insulin usage is about 95 units of insulin a day. So that's a 50% decrease from what it was last year. But also too, my carbs entered per day are anywhere between 100 and 225 grams of carbs. Now there's some cheat days in there. So I'm going to say that my average carb intake a day when I'm doing the diet really well is probably between 30 and 50 grams of carbs. So the cheat days and then the cheating on my diet, stuff like that is all kind of factored in there. And I am trying to get back going good with it now. So it's not really a good estimate, but let me go ahead and pull a CareLink report for you guys from June of last year. I'll do the whole month of June, so that way you can see what my average carb intake was then, because I was doing it pretty good then. Now I get to the point where I see something and then I'm not really seeing what I want in the weight loss category, so I'm just like, screw it, I'll have a donut. And we all have been there and done that. So for June, my total carbs entered was 26 plus or minus 20. So I think that is a good explanation of what I try to accomplish. Now you have to look at keto. When you look at keto stuff, you got to learn how to calculate keto. So you look at the total carbs minus the dietary fibers minus some sort of sugar. I don't remember what it's called. It's like alcohol sugar or something like that. And that gives you your total keto carbs. So like if you go look at a bag of almonds, so it'll say net carbs on it. That's what you're doing. You're using net carbs for keto, where total carbs, you have to use that for your insulin pump and stuff like that for me. So if I go eat a pint of keto ice cream, it might have total of 8 grams of net carbs in the ice cream for keto, but for actual diabetes, it might have anywhere from 50 to 60 grams of carbs. So I have to program my pump for that 50 to 60, so that will skew my data just a little bit. It's kind of a mental math game, but one thing that I will tell you guys, it's a kind of a sweet treat and to get yourself started on it, is get you some natural peanut butter. I personally like Justin's peanut butter. I know that's funny. But I have been eating at work the Jif's Natural. It has about 6 or 7 grams of carbs per the serving. So you get you a tablespoon of it and you get you about 10 almonds. Just dip the almonds in there. It's a good source of fiber. So that's something that I enjoy as a little sweet snack. My mom actually started keto a couple months back, and she loves that little snack, and she kind of enjoys the diet altogether. I think we both feel better when I eat fast food and all that stuff after I'm not been on the diet. It starts to make me, I don't know, groggy. I don't feel as crisp and clean as I do when I do it. So my goal is to kind of continue this out for the next year and try to see, like, doing it majority of the year and see what happens. So I hope this kind of answers your question. And hopefully others kind of raise some questions. And I'm going to go ahead and stop this video before World War IV breaks out with these 2 huskies behind me. But if you have any questions, drop a comment down below. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next week.